Hey everyone, welcome. Happy Monday.
Happy
Hope you all
Monday.
had a great weekend. Sorry we're a few seconds late, but we were so busy chatting that we forgot that we've got a show to
Oops.
do.
Yeah.
Oops. Hey, so before we launch into recording this episode, let's start out with saying hi to our folks in the comments. And first up, as almost always, is Mr. Michael Bingham.
Thank you, Michael.
Happy birthday Eve to your mom. Hope you had a great weekend. Also saying hello to Blossom and Michelangelo over in Derek's Corner. Great to see you folks. Yeah, we were just chatting about some thoughts about Terra Luna, which is now open. And I think we might be talking about that a little bit
Yes,
in the
we have
show
some
coming up.
awesome photos inside, and
Yep.
I know that we'll be checking it out soon, or you already checked it out, but I'll be checking it
I
out.
did. I have not stayed overnight yet, but I do have. I spent an afternoon there. I took the bus. I had some food. I walked around a bit. I may have snuck into the pool complex when someone
I
used
won't
their
tell.
key card. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. But give me just 1 second here. I'm checking a setting on my computer is doing a little bit of a freak out. So in the meantime, the Roman Empire was, or the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman. Discuss amongst yourselves. All right. Yeah, I need to do a little internet to come back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear
Can
you.
anyone hear me now? Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You are a little foggy.
Yeah. Little bit of internet issues this morning, but hopefully you can still hear me enough for us to get through this recording.
Yes, I
So
can hear you perfectly.
apologies for that, but we are going to go ahead and jump right into recording this thing in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth,
And I'm Carly.
and we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, I know you and I have both been very busy typing cats at home, working on our respective books. So probably not a lot of time to get to the theme parks for you this week, huh?
Yes, I have a fun project that I'm going to be announcing soon. So I'm trying to lay it back. I mean, we have a lot coming up between Epic Universe, Disneyland 70, Walt Disney World Summer. So trying to reel it in, but I mean, my mind has been just like Epic Universe nonstop.
Yeah.
You and I are going really soon, and I am so excited.
I know. I'm going to get to see you in less than a week.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that it's almost here. I do have some thoughts though about Universe. Obviously, neither of us have been inside, but my social media feed has just been full of people who have been visiting, both as team member preview guests and also as people working in the parks. And 95% of what I've been hearing is great, but I do have to bring up an issue that I just came up on my social media feed last night, and this is a hard one. I got to say, my heart goes out to everyone in entertainment who is working in Celestial Park. Part of building a new theme park is they try out ideas, and not all the ideas make it to opening day.
Right.
But I've heard that a large, like pretty much all of the entertainment that was being rehearsed for Celestial Park is gone, and that is really, really hard for those folks who have, a lot of them left steady jobs in the old parks to take up this opportunity and have spent weeks and weeks rehearsing, and now are out on the street. And I really hope Universal finds a place for all of them, and that they all land on their feet, because I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the side of the people who got cut when budgets need to get trimmed, and I've also been on the side of, producer or director who has to cut things when they're not working, and it sucks on both sides. I'm so sorry to everyone who's going through that right now.
Yeah, and and it's like that's what makes a land feel so alive, and I
Yeah.
feel it all the time at Universal Studios Florida, because it's so alive. Some days when you hit it just right, every corner is a live performer outside, and then that's what kind of Disney's Hollywood Studios feels a little stale. We don't have that anymore. So I was looking forward to that in Celestial Park.
Yeah.
Is it a budget cut situation?
I don't know. I don't have, I'm sure there's lots of factors. Money is always a factor. From what I'm hearing, they're going to go with an outside third party to provide musicians. The part of the problem, I think, is that they built a stage with no shade. And that is never great for guest satisfaction on a show. No matter how good a show is, if people are baking in the sun, it never gets great scores. And I'm sure that all the decisions they're making now are based on surveys and evaluations they're doing of the the mock service that they're doing right now. I don't know the reasons, but I just know that it's really hard on the people involved, and I still have faith that I'm going to really enjoy this park. I know it's going to be a beautiful park. I know the e-tickets are going to be amazing. What worries me about the long-term longevity of this park is where are the little moments, where are the B tickets and the C tickets? Where's this park's citizens of Hollywood, or in attraction terms, the people mover. Where are those little things that take up time in your day, so that you're not just going from one 2-hour line for an e-ticket to another 2-hour line?
Right. And and you and I, especially because we're in the park so often, we look at it differently, because a lot of times we're not going on any rides. So what
absolutely
else can I do? Obviously, like the merchandise shops, I love walking through. I feel like Dark Universe, as long as they keep up with all the live characters that have been in there, that should be amazing. But
hearing wonderful things about the street performers in Dark Universe, in Ministry of Magic, in Burke, but Celestial Park is huge. I mean, it's like as big as a lot of other entire theme parks are in terms of space to fill. And gardens are great, carousel's great, the roller coaster I'm sure is going to be wonderful, but I feel like it's going to need more than that to bring it to life. So we will both see in a week.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as big as it is, and like everyone that has told me, they're like, it's so big, and they also said, boy, it's going to be hot in the summer with all that cement.
It's going to take a few years for all those trees to grow in, and there's not a lot of like shade canopy, or boy, we could have a whole discussion about climate change and the theme park industry. But when you go to places like Tokyo Disneyland and see that they have a canopy over all of Main Street, or in Abu Dhabi when they've got entire indoor theme parks, that might be the future here in Orlando, because it's getting hot out there.
You know what? And Celestial Park could have been that land, almost like the entrance to Tokyo Disney, where it's fully in the arcade, and they could have done like a moons and stars on the ceiling. So God, I would love that. I'm always hot, and this weekend's going to be 90 degrees, and I'm
the next theme park that gets built in Orlando, I'm sure we'll have to take that into consideration.
When we're old and decrepit, and it doesn't matter anymore.
All right, now that we have gotten completely off the rails, I think it is time, without any further ado, for us to jump into the news in the queue. All right, first up, while we are already on the topic of Epic Universe and those long lines for the e-tickets, Now on sale, Epic Universe Express passes. We have a list of eligible attractions and pricing for these. And if you are going in the opening months and you want to make sure you get on as many rides as you can, these will definitely come in handy because these will not be included in any of the hotels like they are for the old parks. So these launched. Did you try to go online and see the pricing or purchase any of these on March
No,
27th
I
when they
didn't.
launched?
I'm toying with the idea of doing a VIP tour with my
Yes.
family later on, not a private one, just because the
Mhm.
prices are pretty good, which we'll talk about.
Yes, VIP tours not included in this article, but they were also released at the same time. And you're
Mhm.
right, I'm a little surprised that they aren't even higher than they are, considering what these express passes.
Same, yeah.
Uh,
I'm a big fan of doing it, as you know, for HHN. So I think when
yeah.
I, go to the park a few months after, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go for that instead of Express. But we'll talk
Yep.
about Express.
Yes, absolutely. So I tried to log in, spent a long time in a frozen queue. And when I was finally able to log in, a little surprised to see that three rides, two major rides, and one middle ground ride are not included in this. So here's the rundown. In Celestial Park, you've got Stardust Racers and Constellation Carousel included. Super Nintendo World has Mario Kart and Yoshi's Adventure included, but not Minecart Madness.
Yes.
Dark Universe, both Monsters Unchained and Curse of the Werewolf included, but Wizarding World of Harry Potter, only the show Le Cirque Arcanu, not the Battle of the Ministry ride. And then finally, in How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup's Wing Gliders, Fire Drill, and the Untrainable Dragon Show are included, but not Dragon Racers Rally. So, what do you think with these three missing? Do you think that that Express is still going to be a popular option for people?
I think so, and I think it kind of goes back to what we've talked about. Much of this park is e-ticket attractions, not really
Hmm.
little like people feeders. So I'm not totally surprised. Minecart Madness capacity, obviously an issue.
Hmm.
Family friendly, so a lot of people can do it. That is going to be probably the longest line in the
Yeah,
park, I would think.
it is. They've placed it at like a cul-de-sac, like a portal inside of a portal.
Yeah.
And I think that Donkey Kong Country area is probably going to be the densest populated part of the park. As you know, the only, I guess, plus is that Minecart Madness is included in early park admission. So if you are a hotel guest, you've got a chance to line up super early and just try to get in the standby line instead of paying for this express pass. And there
Yeah,
is a
that's
single rider line for this one.
that's going to be
So
like the Hagrid's Run,
yeah,
I mean, and that's going to be like that for,
absolutely.
I would guess, years to come.
Absolutely. And then you know, Ministry of Magic, I think it's going to be a while. We are not even sure if we're going to get to ride this next week. As far as we
Yeah.
know, no one, maybe outside of a few designers, have been on this thing yet. And yeah, the odds of it making it by opening day, who knows?
Yeah, I'm
So
honestly really, I'm sure we'll get to see the queue when which I'm
for sure
very
they're going to let us
excited
walk through the
about.
queue, which I've been told is an attraction in itself. So I'm excited
Yeah,
for that. But then finally, Dragon Racers Rally. This is kind of an off-the-shelf flat ride, and I assume that it's just a matter of capacity.
mhm,
That it's basically a carnival ride, and if you had express, the standby line wouldn't move.
correct. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely capacity. It is not my cup of tea, but these flat rides are very popular. People
Hmm.
love them. I'll ride it with you, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So, their press release says that the one-day express passes start at 1:30. I don't see anywhere on their calendar when you can actually buy one of these passes for 1:30. The cheapest I see is a handful of days in September when it's 135. For the most part, if you want to see this in the opening month, you're going to be paying $240 or $250 for that express pass. And keep in mind, these express passes are one-time use only. You get
Yeah.
one trip through each participating attraction. It's not the unlimited passes like you can buy over at the other parks.
Yeah, and I feel like it's hard to give a strategy on this yet because
Mhm.
obviously Epic Universe is not open. But if you were going 2 days, maybe you don't need Express. If you're going just one day,
Yeah.
maybe it's worth it. And then if you could hold on to a date, like those midweek dates later in the year that are 135,
Mhm.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, 135, 140, if you're looking at September, even late August. But, the majority of the dates, you're looking at, you know, anywhere from the, 150s to 180s. And then getting up to Christmas time, it looks like it's going to top out the week between Christmas and New Year's at $310.
Yes.
So
So this
that's,
is where I'm like, I'm doing a VIP tour. Obviously, the
yeah.
VIP tour uses like some dynamic pricing based on
Hmm.
how busy and the season. But if you're going to spend $300 and
Hmm.
you have $300 spent, you might as well just go for the VIP tour at that
Yeah,
point.
and we don't have the pricing for the VIP tour in this article, but it seems to be about double the price of an express pass,
Right.
give or take.
So if you're
With
going on like a low day, because like I do
Yeah.
this for HHN, is I find whatever dates are like the earliest and the
Hmm.
lowest. So it's usually like a Thursday in the first month. That's like $350 a
Yeah,
person. You
and
can't beat that.
and here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that a VIP tour will get you express access to certainly Minecart Madness and Dragon Racers Rally if on the tour, and whenever Battle of the Ministry is running. I'm sure
Exactly.
those, if anyone's going to get on it, it'll be VIP tour guests.
I can't see a world that they
Yeah,
don't include that on the
yeah,
VIP tour because that would be really kind of a rough
yeah. Right.
addendum to have on there. But yeah, I mean, you're paying extra, obviously, but it's such a much better
Yeah,
experience for the price lead.
yeah. No, I'm even almost thinking that a VIP tour, a one day, you'd probably get as much or more done than buying express passes for 2 days. And there are, for the first time, actually multi-day express passes
Mhm.
available. And you can actually, it is a pretty decent savings if you buy one of the multi-day ones versus buying multiple single day. So plan out your visit in advance by visiting their website. It's now opening day. It was impossible to get on that website. Now you can just click on it and get in there and see how much it costs on the days you're looking at. Or our friends at Universal Fan Travel can help you plan that.
Absolutely.
Next up, this was the one thing that I got out of the house for this week. Terra Luna Resort opened. I was not there on opening day, but I stopped by a couple days later to check out the newest hotel at Universal Orlando. Terra Luna is the sister to Stella Nova, which we've both been to. And we've got some great photos provided by Universal of the resort inside and out. So what's your hot take on Terra Luna?
Yeah, so I had a wonderful stay at Celanova. I am
Mhm.
a, value resort girl through and through at Universal Orlando. I have
Yep.
done Endless Summer Dockside probably like 40 times in the last few years. I
Wow.
love it. It is my family's go-to. You cannot beat it. And it's, I'm just always looking for like that value and also a place that feels like a resort. So that we have two
Mhm.
more of these options is wonderful. I loved my stay at Stella Nova. I love the rooms, especially. There's like a lot of like pastels and pops of
Mhm.
color that give us this feel. So I'm curious to see Terra Luna rooms because they look a little bit more understated. But you and I have talked about this. If I could stay in a resort, not a hotel, that feels like, themed and special for $200 a night, I am
Mhm.
not complaining because this hotel at Disney would be like 600 at least.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's the headline with these, that you're looking at anywhere between 210 and 280 per night, and if you compare what you get versus the same price point over at Disney, you really can't compare.
Right.
So this is we talked a lot about Stella Nova, and pretty much everything that we've said about that applies to Terra Luna. The color palette, you're right, it's a little more subdued. Some places to me a little more bland. It's more earth tones, browns and greens. It's still got the same color changing tiles on the outside, which is really cool. The inside, I like in Stella Nova, there's like in the lobby, there's these big murals of the Hubble telescope
Yeah.
images and stuff like that. In Terra Luna, little more understated, but still nice. Still very looks very nice for a value price hotel. You've got the bar. I ate at the cafe and had a really good burger. But I was a little disappointed because when I had been at Stella Nova's opening, I talked to the executive chef for both hotels, and he made a point of telling me that they were going to have more plant-based options at Terra Luna, and that didn't materialize, or at least it hasn't yet. There is a gluten-free area of the grab and go market, but it's really not more than just snacks. But there is some good looking food over there. I really
Yeah.
like my burger, and the pool is also gorgeous.
Yes, I'm very excited. There's a breakfast pizza, which I love
Yes.
breakfast pizza, and I will be trying that this coming weekend.
Yeah. I think for a lot of folks who are torn between do I stay at Stella Nova or Terra Luna, my personal opinion is unless there was a huge price difference between them, and there shouldn't be, they're in the same pricing category. I would go for Stella Nova every time simply because of the walking
Yep.
path to the park. If you're on, you can see the video. This is a picture, an aerial from our friend BioReconstruct of the two resorts, Terra on the left, Stella on the right. And the issue is if you look kind of behind Terra where the traffic circle, the elevated traffic circle is, it looks like it would be a pretty straight shot to just go behind the hotel and cross over and follow the road right into Epic. Unfortunately, there is no sidewalk or
No
crosswalk
bridge.
on
Yeah,
that backside.
exactly.
There's no safe pedestrian access back there. So you're going to have to go. I actually walked this around the pool. There's a little pathway.
That little back way, right?
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
brings you out to where they are currently building a crosswalk. I didn't walk across myself because there are literally construction guys building this right now. But then you're going to have to come around and either, I think, come all the way down here and around, or perhaps around the other side of Stella. Either way, you're basically going to have to walk all the way one direction and then come back all the way the other direction. It'll be possible, but not really practical for
Right.
most guests. I think most people are going to opt for the bus, which I think the bus will still be fine. But if you're like me, you want to, rope drop the rope drop and be the first people there. Then Stella is, and that walking path is definitely going to be the way to go.
Absolutely. And I'm honestly really glad that they have never pushed the walking from
Hmm.
this, because I feel like people would be gravely disappointed. They have always said you're taking a shuttle from
Yeah.
this specific
Yeah,
hotel.
if you look on their website for sure, it only has a little asterisk and says that the walking path is Stella Nova. When I talked to Lowe's executives again at the opening of Stella Nova, they were like, "Yes, it is pedestrian accessible, but we're not really talking about it because you don't want to do it."
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And maybe they have something down the road. I love the garden
yeah,
path personally from the
yeah.
main Universal campus. It's so nice to I
Well,
don't want to you don't really I mean, to be honest, Universal bus transportation is a dream. I don't think I've ever not had more than 2 buses lined up ready for me to
yeah.
go. So I think with this, since it's just really going back and forth between this hotel and it's not leaving the Epic Universe campus, it's probably
Mhm.
going to be pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think bus service will be fine. The only problem is, the mornings are, there's going to be high demand, I think, for those rope drop buses.
Yeah, and I
But
will say one other thing. Since this is the Epic Universe campus, I
Mhm.
wish there was a way to make the sister resorts more connected, like literally
Mm,
physically connected, just because it would be like a fun selling point. I don't know if I'm staying at one and the food and the cocktail programs are different, to go
Yeah.
over to the other one and enjoy it too. But I mean, I think logistically, it's probably just tough.
Yeah, I don't see any practical way to commute back and forth
Mhm.
unless they build a bridge across down the
Right,
road. Till then, yeah, I think going to one or the other. Um,
which is fine
so we've
as
only
long as
got
it's affordable.
Yeah, well, we've only got one more hotel now, the 11th Universal Helios Grand Hotel, which I guess we're going to be seeing when it opens on
Yes.
opening day. But until then, I recommend go and park over at the main Universal campus and go down to the lower level of the garage and hop on a bus. It was only 15 minutes both ways, and though I'm still not sure why they take the buses up those nice new lanes on Kirkman Road and then turn onto International Drive instead of
Right.
going all the way up Kirkman right into the resort. It's that section that the bus drives on International Drive takes longer than the entire longer section up.
Oh, yes. No, I timed it a few times. My best
Yeah.
one was just when iDrive was clear and it took 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But which is
You,
still fine. I mean, I think
yeah.
about what I've waited for Disney buses, which I'm
Right.
retired from the Disney bus game. I don't take them because they take forever just to come. So it's like the buses are really good. But yeah, I mean, let's get us there.
Amen. All right. In more Universal news,
Yes.
they've also released pricing and reservations for the Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience. This is going to be your chance to transform yourself into a classic monster inside the Dark Universe area of Epic Universe. It looks like you've got a choice of Frankenstein's monster, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Wolfman, and these are available for both adults and children. And I was actually kind of surprised how reasonable the pricing was.
Shocked. When I read
Yeah.
that, I thought it was a typo. I mean, I guess we'll dive into it. The first basic example, which is not basic, it's full makeup,
Yeah.
$45. I was expecting almost double that.
Yeah. And these are professional makeup artists doing this. And it
Right.
looks like in some cases you've got a team of people working on one person. And $45 for a full face makeup, that's not much more than, Carnival's charge for doing,
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
airbrushing you who probably doesn't have nearly the training or the equipment that they do here.
Right. And also, you were not at a carnival. The
Yeah,
facility itself was
exactly.
really
Exact.
nice.
Yes. It's kind of like I had no interest in the Pirates makeover at Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom, but I always wanted to, accompany someone just to see what the inside of that space looks like. And this also looks like a really cool themed laboratory area. Um, so if you want to go a little further than that $45, there's a transformation experience where you get both the makeup and accessories. And they don't specify exactly what the accessories are, but from the pictures, it looks like things like furry collars, monster hands,
The necklace.
Frankenstein bolts,
Yep.
yeah,
Necklace for
necklace.
Dracula.
I'm hoping that the Bride of Frankenstein gets the Elsa Lancaster wig
Oh,
and the gloves. I'm not sure how much of the costuming that they show these folks wearing is included. I'm guessing this Creature of the Black Lagoon, I don't know if it's a bodysuit or something.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I cannot wait to learn more about this,
It
and I hope we get to go in there because
Yeah.
I am going to do this for sure.
So if you're ages 5 through 9, it's $109 for the complete transformation with the makeup and the accessories, and $169 for adults. And I think the pricing on that is very competitive compared to something like a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Um, and so the one thing that I thought was really interesting was that guests are not allowed to consume alcoholic drinks while
Yeah.
in their monster makeup. So I guess you're going to have to, I don't know, down some shots first, or
Yeah.
yeah, I've never seen a restriction like that. I wasn't aware that they had that restriction, like when they did this test in the studios in the past, or when they have other face painting things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess like the only comparison I thought of in my mind was like at Disney, you can't be holding a drink in a picture with a character.
Oh, okay. So
But
maybe it's more a matter of IP than of safety. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know,
But
but it would be really fun to go to Pat O'Brien's dressed up.
right. Well, I just I was hoping that I could get Frankenstein makeup done and go to the Burning Blade Tavern and recreate the scene with Gene Hackman from Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
But apparently, no alcohol, definitely no cigars. So unless I want to get hot soup spilled on me, there's really no point. Um, all right. Little Mel Brooks humor for all of you over the age of 50. Um, all right. Well, you can go online now and book this or call up our friends at Universal Travel and they'll hook you up. All right. Moving right along, still in the state of Florida, we are heading down to Legoland where they have started construction on a new indoor roller coaster that's going to open next year in 2026. And it's got a twin coming out at Legoland, California as well.
Yes, and I love that this is an indoor roller coaster for specifically ages 2 to 12. So this is going to be
Mhm.
something families can do together. Honestly, I'm very excited.
Yeah. So this was just announced a little while ago, and it coincided with the arrival of SeaWorld Sea Life Florida, which is the new aquarium that they've got opening up in May. So they're just, not even finishing one project before they are starting another. They're calling this a first of its kind new ride. And they are spending about $90 million total on the two attractions. So roughly 45 million a piece, which is a lot for, any theme park company, but definitely a
Right.
lot for Merlin and for Legoland. They've not given us a lot of details about it, other than it promises to provide a unique storyline fitting the style of Legoland. Um, and it intends to deliver thrills and excitement for families with children ages 2 through 12. So we don't know the manufacturer, we don't know the ride system, but we do have some photos of its construction.
Yes, we do.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, we don't know much, but I mean, I think it's exciting. I love an indoor coaster.
mhm. And so they did not in this release specify where it was going, but from this photo they've released of where they've poured the concrete pad, you can see the lake that Legoland is around in the background. You can see the water park wave pool right
Yep.
here. And at the far left of the picture, you can see the edge of the Ford driving school. So if you line that all up in Google Maps, I am 99.44% sure this is being built on the footprint of the old flying school, which was a Vekoma hang and bang, extremely uncomfortable
Yeah.
suspended coaster. And it looks like they may have taken out few more trees around it, but more or less it looks like this is going to sit on the same footprint that roller coaster did, just being enclosed now. So that coaster was about 1,000 feet long. Not a kiddie coaster, but not a Guardians of the Galaxy or anything.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see what kind of theme it has. We still got the driving school and the other, I guess, Lego City kind of stuff not too far away. So I'm not sure if it's going to tie into that or have a whole new theme, maybe a whole new theme coming to the area. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely excited to learn more, and I love everything that Merlin is doing with the Legoland US properties. They're such fun parks. They're so cute. So I can't wait to go on this.
Yeah, I am excited for it, but it is going to be bittersweet. I got to give a shout out to our old podcast co-host,
Yes.
Banks Lee.
Mm.
I think he just wrapped up his time at Legoland, Florida. A lot of good folks have had to leave there recently, and I'm really I'm sad for him, but I also know that he is such a great and talented guy that he is going to land on his feet, and something good will happen for him soon. So
So well said.
we love you, Banks. All right. So that is just going to wrap up our news in the queue for this week. Before we launch into our main attraction, it's time to hear a word from our sponsors.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction.
All right, for this week's main attraction, we've been talking all about Epic Universe coming this summer, but Walt Disney World has also got its share of new things coming for summer 2025, and we have 7 announcements for things coming over the coming months, announced by Disney back on March 26th, and we are going to give the rundown of them, starting with something I am really excited to see. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin at Magic Kingdom is shutting down in August, but will come back next year with new vehicles, new handheld blasters. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
God.
upgraded targets, along with a new scene at the very beginning of the ride, introducing a new character named Buddy, who's going to help train us to use these brand new blasters. And all I can say is, it is about time.
Yes, it is. Honestly, I love any sort of interactive competition shooting ride.
Mhm.
But you know what? I haven't gone on Buzz in a long time because I couldn't see where my target was. I didn't know what I was shooting, and I need to feel instant gratification.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will do that.
So yeah, if you're not aware, uh, the Buzz Lightyear ride that's in the Magic Kingdom is very similar to the one at Disneyland, but there's always been one major difference,
Major.
which
Yeah.
is that in Walt Disney World, the guns were bolted to the seats, just
Yeah.
like Statler and Waldorf. And you could, just move them around, but you could never really aim well with them. And you were never really sure which target, which beam was yours, or exactly, whether you hit someone or the person next to you hit something. It was just not great gameplay. Disneyland version gives you a handheld gun that looks very, very much like the new handheld guns that they're installing in Walt Disney World now, finally. And that gives you so much more gameplay. You don't have to spin the whole car around to be able to turn around and shoot something
Right.
to the side. But even more than that, now it looks like the different guns are going to have different colors. So you'll actually be able to see, which beam is yours, which shots are yours, and I think that is going to make it so much more fun to play.
Right. I mean, it's just not fun when you're shooting out aimlessly,
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're also upgrading the targets. So it looks like the targets are going to be able to light up in different colors. I guess that'll indicate, who shot which one.
Right.
And it just, the vehicles themselves definitely need a little loving care. I mean, they kind of go all the way back to if you had wings like that. That's how old
Right.
that ride system is. A refurbishment for all the hardware is definitely in order. Yes, this was like Disney's first interactive shooting gun game, and it's like, Toy Story Mania came and Web Slingers came, and for me, I mean, Men in Black is still the best of all of them.
Yeah.
But this, I think, will, still a popular ride. But I can tell you from my book, I get a lot more complaints that, the guns are broken. I couldn't see what I would tell what I was doing. It's just not as much fun. And I think this will bring the popularity of this right back up.
Absolutely. And you're so right. It almost always has a decent wait time. And I'm
Oh
always
yeah.
like,
Oh
how?
yeah.
But I mean,
And it's a
it's
people
win-win for
eater.
families,
I mean, it can eat like 2,000 something people an hour. So yeah, it I think definitely this will re-energize its popularity for sure. Next up on May 27th, Disney's Hollywood Studios is going to debut Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, a brand new stage show that took over the Sunset Showcase behind Rock and Roller Coaster, where Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy used to be. We talked about this one before with concept art. It's basically like interactive musical stage show thing with lots and lots of Disney villains, including some really obscure ones. Um, and then we've also, on the exact same day, got the debut of the new Little Mermaid musical adventure show. This is an upgraded version of the old Little Mermaid show that closed during COVID.
Yeah, so long awaited. I mean, this will just bring a little bit of life to Animation Courtyard, which is kind of just in this like weird lull. You got Fancy Nancy over there and not much else going on.
Yeah. And then next up at the Magic Kingdom, we have a nighttime parade coming sometime.
Sometime, yes.
Sometime after May 27th and before summer ends. So take that for what you will.
What we're seeing, I'm liking, and it
Yeah.
seems like everyone else is.
Yes. So we've got floats representing Cinderella, Peter Pan, Frozen, Moana, Coco, and Encanto. And it's been way too long since Magic Kingdom had a nighttime parade. And if this is even 1/10 as good as the Disney Dreamlights parade out in Tokyo is, then I will be very happy.
Yes, I'm very excited for this.
Also coming this summer over in Epcot, Goofy is going to be visiting Communicore Hall and taking over for the Ultimate Game Party and Play Space. So yay, they're finding something to do with Communicore Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of play space, there are going to be new kid zones with activities coming to Storybook Circus and Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom. That's going to be operating from May 27th through the 1st of September. And you'll also be able to find Disney characters this summer at the hotels. Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, and Wilderness Lodge are all going to get scheduled character performances. Right now, those meet and greets are just surprise and delight. But this summer, you'll be able to actually know when they're going to show up.
Yes, there's no better feeling than when the character cavalcade rolls into your property. But I'm curious how this will be now. Before it was spontaneous, so you just kind of be lucky to be in the lobby and seeing it. So it might be kind of a cluster. I don't know.
Now that it's scheduled, there's going to be a queue. People are going
Yes.
to line up. Yep, exactly. Some other noteworthy things on Disney's summer 2025 calendar that were not in the latest announcement. Test Track is inching towards its reopening. When I was over there, I could hear cars going around on the track.
Ooh.
And it looks like they've taken down a lot of the scaffolding around the new entryway, which is kind of bringing back a little more of the World of Motion vibes. So that's coming along. They've said late summer, so maybe late August, early September. Who knows? We also have coming up in Saturn News. June 7th will be your last day to experience Muppet Vision 3D over at the studios. It permanently closes on June 8th. And we don't have closing dates yet for things like the Liberty Bell and Tom Sawyer Island around the Rivers of America Magic Kingdom, but you better get your last laps in now.
Yes, I'm hoping they open up Aunt Polly's for like a 1 day only thing, and they could bring back those like prepackaged PB&Js, and we can go out.
Oh
with a
my
bang.
gosh. Back in the day, yes. I can't remember the last time I actually saw that little counter service stand on Tom Sawyer Island
I think it was like
operating.
like 2019 when they redid the menu, and it was actually like really good. And then I don't know, it's
Yeah,
it's the
I
most
have
inconsistent restaurant of all Disney history.
I have vague memories of getting like a handwich or like a tuna sandwich or something on
Yes, they
there,
had tuna
like in the
sandwiches.
80s.
Yes, and they
Uh,
had fried chicken, which I'm so glad I remember. They had
uh,
cold picnic fried chicken. So bring that back for 1 day, and we can
one
have a
day.
fun day on Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, lot of new stuff coming, a lot of stuff leaving. I know Epic is getting all the attention this summer, but Disney's there too. They're not lying down. So
Yes, it's not going
uh,
to affect, I don't think, anything. People are still going to.
no, I think anyone who thinks that Disney will be empty this summer because of Epic opening,
No.
I think if anything, bringing in more people to town brings more crowds everywhere. I think Islands Adventure and the studios are in more danger of seeing a attendance drop than Disney. SeaWorld, I'd be worried, other than their flying theater.
Right.
But we will see. It's going to be a very exciting few months coming up.
Yes, I know. Very exciting.
Before we wrap this up, we're going to take a look back at a few comments that you folks have left us. And from Cindy Bingham, thanking us for the birthday shout out.
Yes, good one.
Yes, we hope you enjoy your trip to Universal next Sunday for your birthday. Excellent. Jacob's World was checking in. Hello back. Michael Bingham also sharing for loves for Banksley with the rest of us. And he also agrees that it is about time for new handheld guns at Buzz. So excited to see it next year like the rest of us. All right. Well, that is just about going to wrap it up. But before we go, we want to thank our sponsors, MEI and MEI-Travel. And we want to remind everyone to please give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen to us. And please give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube. Be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media accounts. Carly, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly.
And you can find me at Eskubersky or at The Unofficial Guides, and pick up copies of my latest books at theunofficialguides.com. Until next time, which we will hopefully have some epic experiences to talk about.
Yes. And you want to tune in next week because I think we're doing a special.
I think if everything works out okay, we will be doing an all epic episode with lots of hot takes, I'm sure. But until then, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, and most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.